Good morning. Is it morning? I didn't really sleep. I made so much progress and done so much since you clocked down yesterday. I've got a new plan to arrest scientists in Antarctica, and the man-eating roses are coming along so nicely. Come, I want to show you this batch I made that's budding in your favorite colors. What's got your safety goggles in a twist? Is the shade off? Because these will probably lighten in color as they bloom, and they'll be alright. Oh yes, the one of the other updates I wanted to give you. Spot was just so active and hyperactive last night. I think she has the case of the zoomies, you know? So I let her off the leash, so I let her wreak a little havoc downtown. After all, how can I say no to that snarling, biting, tentacled cutie? She brought us back a bike as a gift. Isn't she just a darling? I believe she scratched up a skyscraper or two, dug up a park and some trees. She went to the bathroom on a purse snatcher, which just tickles me pink because that means her training is going well. Ah, yes, that's right. She did use a suspension bridge as a swing, and it didn't hold. I've been telling the government and Heroes Council for years that tax money should be going to public infrastructure, and I hate having to tell them, I told you so, when I crash the next town hall. I know that's bullshit. I love showing their failures in their face. I'll record it for everyone. Why are you so grumpy then? You hated that rickety thing and called it an eyesore. I thought your date was at 7. You live outside of downtown, and I let Spot out to play right about then. Sounds to me if he had been on time, this would have been avoided, but he wouldn't have tragically fallen off the bridge into the river. That's what I like about you. Always so punctual. You're one of a kind. I'm not trying to make you less mad with compliments because I don't know why you're mad at me. How was I supposed to know your date would be late? All I was concerned was that our beloved Spot here stretched her legs and was happy. Look at that face! How can you say no to it? Besides, isn't this the same man who kept trying to get you to listen to his podcast? Then didn't this work out for the best? You should be thanking me even. Here, I'll start for you. Wow, you're the best boss ever, on top of being the most dastardly villain to ever plague the earth. I love being paid to fulfill your vision and to do evil by your side, and I would totally kiss you if I had the chance. Now you try. I know you didn't mean that. I still have that best boss ever mug you gave me for my birthday, so I'm practically quoting you verbatim. You would never. This was an accident! A coincidence! You wouldn't break my heart over a happenstance, would you? Another unfortunate coincidence. I had no way of knowing the restaurant I set on fire was where your high school sweetheart worked. All I knew was that they gave me food poisoning and really disgusting appleteenies. Another coincidence is that nowhere near my fault, even less than the other ones. How was I supposed to know your blind date was a superhero? You didn't know either! Also, if I hadn't blown out the Temple of Fortitude, it would have been another villain. So, blaming me specifically, it's so unfair. Now that was self-defense. I didn't vaporize that woman the other day because she hit you. I vaporized her because she was a cop who pointed a gun at me. Which was scary, by the way. And you didn't even seem to comfort me when she shot me. Just because I can bend the rules of life and death doesn't mean it wasn't scary. The resurrection machine hurts like a bitch. I don't know. I know you don't mean that earlier. You always put me in the chamber in time for a thunderstorm. After all, who will sign your paychecks and genetically engineer pig-sized, fire-breathing dragons for your birthday gift? Oh, so that'll convince you to keep me around and not my sparkling wit. My excellent company. Ouch. I know you're joking, don't worry. I've never thought for a second that working with villains had made you one. You're still so sweet and soft-hearted even when you're frustrated. Yeah, I know, I get it. I hear dating can be rough with these apps. Hookup culture, work-life balance, all that. And I can imagine how hard it must feel to jump through all those hoops and still feel lonely at the end of it. That must be really hard, and I'm sorry you feel that way. No, I'm not looking for anyone myself. I've got everything I need right here. Well, I can't wait for the day you love your job as much as I do to mine. I know what happened just as you'll find the one. You'll just have to be patient a little longer. You can't rush this sort of thing. Not when it's so imperative to find someone that's worthy of you. As difficult as that may be. Of course I mean that. Do I lie? Especially to you? I may terrorize, immolate, and murder, but do I lie? Then believe me when I say that the right person will come along. The one who will sweep you off your feet. And you shouldn't settle for anything less than until then. You're stunning, intelligent, and a ray of sunshine everywhere you go. Especially in this dreary lab. You're the best assistant, and dare I say friend, I could ever ask for. And I think you deserve the world. Now, how can someone possibly give you more that when my plans succeed and the world is ours? They'll simply have to be more creative. That won't be possible. Once something is mine, it's mine. Except for the parts of the world I will give to you, of course, my lovely assistant. Of course, you think I want to rule the world by myself? That'll be too lonely. You'll get a whole continent, 2 even. I know your dreams of giving the Aboriginal people of Australia back their land, and soon you'll be able to. You told me about it when you had too many hard ciders at the last happy hour. You told me the only thing you asked in return was a few acres of land and as many emus as you can handle. Your younger self was very affected by reading the emu wars, I gathered. You don't have to justify it. Like I said, you're one of a kind. Unique, sweet, and empathetic. The smallest of creatures. I've always loved this about you and will help however I can. Are we good then? Are you done being mad at me? You have nothing to be sorry for. It's so unfortunate your date last night didn't work out, and that must have been really frustrating. I'm really happy I could support you and help you feel better. Good. You know what else might help raise your spirits? The dragons are hungry and haven't been fed yet. I held off because I know how much you love to be the one to do it. I agree. They're happier when you do it anyways. I have a whole lot of chickens defrosting in the kitchen, if you'd like to grab those and feed them before we start work today. Yes. I know you're not really hungry after last night's meal, but our friend knows your schedule too well, and would be so worried if you didn't at least nibble. We wouldn't want to worry them, would we? That's right, attaboy. That's a spirit. A few more little accidents and a secret meals for you both, and you'll get the hint. I'll get to have them all to myself, and you two will be right by our side on the cozy ranch in the outback. Doesn't that sound so nice and worth gorging yourself stuffed on an Andrew Tate wannabe every so often? Good. Keep it up. There you are. Let me help you give your hand. Those have got to be still cold. Of course. Now, after this, could you take a look at those flowers I was telling you about? They're already carnivorous. But I think we could really maximize the damage, potentially by making them produce toxic pollen. Then why don't we take an early break and try out that brunch place around the corner? My treat.